So I just seen Spiderman Brand New Day, and I must say, like in my opinion, obviously my opinion, it's probably the best Spider-Man film since Spider-Man since I'll say Spider-Man 2. That's how long I've not seen a great Spider-Man movie like that. Right off the bat, I kind of knew Tombstone would have been wasted. I thought he would be the main villain, but Tombstone was wasted. Scorpion was also wasted. But surprisingly, I thought he would have been a one and done at the beginning and then never see him again. It kind of wasn't a little bit, but he wasn't really a factor. They basically, I'll kind of spoil it a little bit. They basically rushed Spider-Man, Spider-Man's, story since the last movie, so kind of rushed through it. He fought a few other villains in the last few years, but they kind of went really fast, just like a bit of like a flashback montage of what he's been through. And then we're in the movie. Jean Grey, I didn't really pay attention much to articles and spoilers like that. So when I was watching it, I thought maybe Tombstone was doing something, but in the end, it was Jean Grey. And interesting backstory. I didn't know she had a story. I didn't know I didn't know Jean Grey had a sister. When I found that out, it was kind of interesting. But it's a lot, and there's still a few things I don't know about X-Men. But nevertheless, great movie. I like how Spider-Man was in a mixture of like three worlds. So Spider-Man was kind of mixed in with the Hulk's world, the Avengers Hulk's world a little bit. He was mixed in with Punisher's, Daredevil world. And he was also mixed in with the Mutants world with Jean Grey. So I thought that was interesting. It did it very well. It wasn't your typical, MCU movie. It wasn't really joke. It had little bit of little jokes there and there, but it wasn't forced like in your usual, MCU film. So I thought that was good. So I thought that was a good part of it. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, so I thought that was good. It wasn't too jokey. I thought it was very good, very good. It's a different take on Spider-Man, just because it really doesn't have the typical main villain. Like I said, he went through the montage of going through Scorpion, Tombstone. I think the Boomerang guy, I forgot his name. I guess you could say the main villain was Damage Control. I gotta look more into that. They made Jean Grey seem like the villain at first, but in the end, she was just there for revenge, wanting to search for her sister. But I think she easily could have prevented. I know it's a movie, but she easily could have prevented collateral damage just by, hey, you're Spider-Man, I've seen you around saving people, can you help me, and looking for my sister. And they probably could have done that, but I know it's a movie, but they didn't really do that. They kind of had to make the reveal of Jean Grey very interesting and dramatic. I thought she did well as Jean Grey. Different take from what we're used to. So yeah, I thought it was a great film. Acting was fine. Punisher's chemistry with Spider-Man was fine. Punisher and Hulk and Spider-Man had a little fight in there. It was fine. Hulk whooped his ass. The hand, A little bit misleading with the hand, a little bit. I thought the hand would play a bigger role in the movie, but they were just, again, kind of like Scorpion and Tombstone, just one and done. They had a fight scene with Spider-Man, and I thought it was really good. Spider-Man got whooped at first, and then, in the end, because Spider-Man was going through some arachnid thing issue with him, and he kind of unlocked this, I guess, power, and he whooped the hand afterwards. But yeah, the hand was wasted. Tombstone wasted. Scorpion wasted. The question is, where do you go from here in terms of villain? I think Tombstone could have been a good, either at least a good secondary villain. But he's wasted. Scorpion, wasted. Like they're just like they're all wasted. So what's the point in all this? Like, it's MCU, and this is some things that you're so used to seeing, but it's just somewhat frustrating to see a good villains, interesting villains, just be wasted. So that's my only really issue with the movie, is just the villains being wasted again, characters being wasted. Yeah, I thought Punisher was great. Only real reason I seen this movie because of Punisher. I'm a big Punisher fan. I say my top 3 heroes are Thor, Punisher, and I'll say Miles Spider-Man. Those top 3. Only reason I seen this because of Punisher. Punisher doesn't do any killing. I think the reason why the Punisher didn't do any killing because I think probably have to do with the movie rating, and they probably didn't want to see any violence with Punisher. Didn't see any, like none whatsoever. But it was okay. I'm not really upset by that because I kind of get the politics with it. It's a Spider-Man film meant for kids. So to see Punisher, blow someone's head off, it's a Spider-Man film. Highly unlikely, but anything can happen in the future. But yeah, I loved it. As a Spider-Man film, I would give this movie probably a 6 out of 10, only because of the wasted villains. But as a general movie fan, this movie probably get 8 out of 10. It's so enjoyable. Best Spider-Man film since Spider-Man 2. That's the Tobey Spider-Man 2. So yeah, fun movie. But anyways, let the lightning be your sword and the sun be your shield.